Okay, so I want to do the case for the homeless in the Supreme Court of the United States. That case has been taken up by Oregon, also joined by California and Arizona, I think. A couple other places. Also joined in this case with Oregon. And what it is basically the public camping bans that have been implemented by these various states. I know Oregon definitely has one. When I first moved here, there were tents everywhere. And the problem was that the people were creating, of course, more trash because, you have trash where you are. And they were living literally in the middle of the city. And then the problem became also that the more and more homeless you get, the more and more homeless there are. The more homeless there are, the more there are on the streets. The more there are on the sidewalks, in front of your house, in front of your business. And if you have a business, no one wants to come in because there are a bunch of people hanging out in the front of it and they're asking you for money or harassing you or something of that nature. And so it just became a situation where something had to be done. Now, there are a lot, of course, I was one of them. It was like, someone has to help them. Homeless is this and this and this, basically fight for the people, power to the people type thing. And then you get here and then you become jaded because so many of them are not nice. they're not, I don't want to talk so bad about them, but they're either breaking stuff or vandalizing things or stealing things, and it's none of them are hungry. And that's another thing too. It's if they want money, you can try to buy them food, but a lot of them won't take that because that's not what they want the food or the money for. And so it's a situation where you become jaded and then you become indifferent. And then it's like now you don't see them as people or you don't care at all. And so that's kind of the dangerous part to all this, is that they just become background or just things to move around like property. You just move them from place to place so they don't dirty up your precious city. And so the homeless sort of have some legal representation as well, because they say, well, we can't camp in public, so what do? The shelters are full and it's winter time, so where do we go and what do we do? And so the city's measures seem extreme to some of the groups that are representing the homeless. So I want to know what happens here. And this is happening in various places, not just Oregon. But when I first moved here to where we are right now, it's night and day. Like complete night and day. Like you could not walk down a large parts, in certain parts anyway. You could not walk down the sidewalk at all because the entire sidewalk was full of tents. So now there's practically none. So we'll see what happens here. The Knight of Swords. It's not just with the Knight of Swords. It's not always chaos and that type of thing. Sometimes it's chivalry and bravery as well, like someone coming to save the day, the knight in shining armor, which is what he technically is. And there's the Hermit. There's your isolation. Maybe even you're homeless there, to where you don't really know where to go or have a place to go. The Emperor, those in charge. The Six of Swords. Solution will emerge with that. the Ten of Wands. The burden continues, though. I think even after this is leaning towards Supreme Court is going to weigh on the side of the states. Because here you're going to have a burden for those in charge. So even though a solution is going to emerge here with the Six of Wands, you're still going to have a burden going forward, because it's not like just because you say they can't camp in public that they just no longer exist. But they fall into some weird dimension where they just vanished. They're still there. So the Magician. Yeah, solution emerges. Power, so the Ace of Cups in the word of warning. Somebody else is going to join this fight as well on behalf of the homeless. The Four of Cups, that is the attitude right now. What to do, I don't really care. Can we do something other than this? The Four of Cups is that thing that's not accepting the reality of what is. Also missing the blessing within this too, because there is a chance to actually try to fix some things. I mean, it takes a lot of money, but you see we have no pentacles here. This is not even about money anymore. Well, kind of is, because it's bad for tourism or whatever. But at the same time, this is not really a money issue. This is more of a human rights issue, or a human, not human rights, but a human treatment issue. Like, what do we do for those who don't have? And then the word of solace, the Two of Wands. So some plans being made. This is not an implementing of those plans. This is a making of those plans, which should have been done years ago, but you know, whatever. And then it ends in the Star. So a solution does emerge here, and there is some things that will get better, but have to go through them first. Solution does emerge, people of power and talent, whoever's in charge of their respective places, but I think they go on the side of the states for the moment, and then we'll see what happens.